Hi, I'm Dr. Frankenhorn. So it occurs to me. Like with the tubaphone, my natural horn that is made out of 20 feet of tubing and a trumpet mouthpiece and an ornamental bell at the end. I can get the falls and the doits that jazz players do, but they differ from the falls and the doits that a trombone player is capable of. They are capable of not just a chromatic glissando, but they're capable of a portamento. And I wondered, is there any way for me to incorporate that into my playing? And I got to thinking, okay, I know at some point I have attached the tubaphone to the trombone, and it did very little, but I don't remember which end of the trombone I attached the tube to. Would that make a difference? Like, did I put the tube before the slide or after the slide? And I'm wondering if that's going to make a difference. So let's find out. The easiest one first. I have two mouthpieces. The easiest is going to be to put it first, right? Yeah. Fewer pieces to remove that way. Hold on. Oh my gosh. I might need a coupler for this. It's almost the right size. It's a little too big, but it's flexible enough to get in, so I may not need a coupler. Okay, so putting the tube before the slide doesn't seem to do anything. Ugh. Oh boy. For another instrument, I had a bunch of Teflon tape on this trombone mouthpiece that I now have to remove, and there's a lot of it on. Aha. Okay. Mouthpiece attached. Next step, tube. Same problem here. It would be easier with a coupler, but it may not be necessary. It would be more secure with a coupler. Let's say that too. Awesome! I think I built the first natural horn with the slide. Maybe, perhaps, I don't know. Maybe I'm overstating. Historical instruments do exist. There may have been a natural horn with a slide. I guess technically speaking, a trombone is pretty close to a natural horn. It just happens to have a slide. And in each individual position, it has, 7 positions? At each of those 7 positions, it functions as a natural horn. It only has access to the natural, or to the harmonic series at that point. But I have extended some of the upper register, some of the chromatic notes available to me with this tube. And I'm wondering if I can even swap out whether it's, I don't know which is going to be better, but the trumpet mouthpiece does fit. Well, that's weird. With the trumpet mouthpiece, the slide doesn't seem to do anything, but with the trombone mouthpiece, oh, it still does nothing. Okay, so the slide doesn't do anything. But why is it I seem to be able to slide more like a portamento and less like a chromatic glissando? So what is going on here? I don't know what's going on here. Okay, let's compare. I have another tube. It's not quite 20 feet, but it's pretty long. I've hardly cut off any at all. It's like at least 19 feet, so pretty long. Let's compare. Oh wow, it's shiny and new. No moisture accumulation and the associated, what do they call it in the dishwasher world on dishes when it leaves spots on your dishes? That's what my regular instrument has. This new one has none of that. Sparkling clean. Anyhow. So that sounds chromatic. No, okay. It makes no difference at all. Lengthening a trombone doesn't seem to do anything for. Oh wait, hold on. The tube fell out. Here's the problem. Because this tube is bigger, which means I need. What do you guess? You've guessed it. What I need in every situation as a Frankenhorn builder is, you got it, Teflon tape. Okay, we're gonna get to the bottom of this mystery. It is a mystery, and we're gonna get to the bottom of it today. What? Huh. Okay, I didn't know that could happen. I'm recording and my screens went to sleep, despite being in a program that should not be put to sleep. So that's weird and unfortunate. Okay. Yep, this is working. Okay. Well, I don't need to hold the bell. Just put the bell down. Okay. Tubes attached there. Tubes attached here. Okay, that's curious. It's curious, but I guess it doesn't matter how much you lengthen a trombone. The slide only works at the length that a trombone is, and not not when it's 20 feet and longer. Huh. I guess in order to make a slide work, the slide itself would have to be the inner. Yeah, I guess it makes sense. It makes sense. That's why. In order to make a slide work at this length, we would need an inner tube that's 20 feet long and an outer tube that's 20 feet long, and then some mechanism to make it. You know, it's impossible, I think, to make this happen. Or isn't there something called a contrabass trombone that has like an additional slide or two on it that effectively accomplishes what I was just describing? More research is necessary. That was a failed experiment, at least as far as results. go, but I think it was a successful experiment as far as education goes, because I've learned a lot from this. And now I know definitively that I cannot add a slide to the tubaphone. Which means that if I want portamento, that I may need a valve trombone at some point. All right. Well, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. And as I mention every single time, stay silly.